We're back, folks. We're back with another one of these It's the Video Game's Fault videos. This is something that I've done here on the channel for a long time, where when specific things kind of come up in the media or like in popular culture where they're talking about how video games cause this and video games cause that, we basically just go through and absolutely destroy that argument because, well, the science isn't on its side, the popular opinion's not on its side, that there's really nothing on that side of the argument other than outdated beliefs that don't even make any sense. Now, today we're going to be talking about a proposed amendment to a bill in Illinois that would ban the sale of violent video games for everybody. I'm not talking about, someone walking into GameStop with their kid can't buy them Grand Theft Auto 5 anymore because the kid's there. This would ban, effectively, the sale of these violent video games or whatever to virtually anyone, including adults, people who should have the say-so on whether or not they consume this kind of media. It's ridiculous and ineffective and only really goes to cause more divide and not really fix any issues. So, I guess there's a problem going on in the south side of Chicago where carjackings have been on the rise. Now, Chicago kind of has a reputation as a really violent and dangerous city to be in the first place. But apparently, in specific, carjackings are on the rise in Chicago, and also apparently in other places in Illinois as well. Now, this is all being proposed by Representative Marcus Evans Jr. His plan is to amend a 2012 law which prevents some video games from being sold to minors. Now, this was all filed on Friday. It's considered HB 3531. Which would ban the sale to anyone of video games depicting, quote, psychological harm, including, quote, motor vehicle theft with a driver or passenger present. Now, this bill is in particular targeting video games like Grand Theft Auto. It would probably end up reaching over into other popular franchises like Call of Duty and other games that also show, quote unquote, psychological harm, aka violence. But Grand Theft Auto is kind of like the whole target, I guess, in this entire thing, it seems like, especially with the whole thing with the carjackings, right? Because obviously the name of the video game Grand Theft Auto depicts carjackings. And that's something that you do in the game, you kill people, you steal cars, you run and kill police and run from them and all these other crazy things, but it's kind of insane that a bill like this is even being proposed in the first place. Now, I'm all for them banning the sale of these video games to kids, okay? Which might upset some people, but honestly, I really don't care if they prevent a 13-year-old kid from buying Call of Duty by himself. I have no problem with that, of course. That game is considered mature, or, well, it was before literally only 12-year-olds played it, but, mature games like that, I can understand why you don't want a 6-year-old kid walking into GameStop with some birthday money and buying that game. Personally, my first video game was Grand Theft Auto 3 all the way back in, 2003. That was the first video game I ever played when I was, 3 years old. My dad willingly let me play that, and I know a lot of people are gonna be like, that's psychotic, but believe it or not, that 3-year-old Optimus playing Grand Theft Auto 3 didn't grow up to, shoot 70 people or fucking steal cars in his spare time or anything crazy like that. And the significantly vast majority of people who play video games like this don't end up doing anything even remotely close to that. Now, this is something that you and I both understand, right? Like, you're not going to play the no Russian mission in Call of Duty and be like, you know what? The airport's not safe anymore. Like, I'm going to go ahead and load up a little bit of Grand Theft Auto Online, and next thing you know, I have the oppressor IRL just taking traffic out on the freeway. Like, it gets ridiculous, the extent that these old fucks, will take to try and step into the video game industry that they don't understand. Like, it blows my mind, but I'm playing a super violent video game in the background of this game, of this video, as you can see. So I'm hoping that those of you who are impressionable at home won't see this significantly violent gameplay and end up doing anything crazy. That would be insane. So let's go ahead and think about this bill, right? So we're gonna ban these violent video games from everyone, okay? Which that means also a 45-year-old dad wouldn't be able to buy Grand Theft Auto in this state of Illinois. What exactly, what's the logic in that this is gonna stop the carjackings on the south side of Chicago? I'm pretty sure if you could interview a pool of these people doing these carjackings, right? And you're like, hey, why are you doing this? I think pretty much every single one of them would have an answer that isn't the same as the video games are making me do it. When I'm thinking of reasons why people might do some carjackings, right? And this, of course, doesn't make it acceptable to go steal cars or anything crazy, but if I'm thinking of it, I'm thinking of man, I don't have a car, I have somewhere I've got to be, I'm going to steal this car, or I'm in a really bad situation in my life, I can sell this car for parts. I'm thinking of people in shitty positions that are trying to claw their way out of shitty positions or are doing that simply as a reaction to the shitty situation that they're in. And I think pretty much most sane people would think that way, right? Like, yeah, there's no way video games are causing this. And you would be right if that's how you think, because they've literally done research on this topic before. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at some of this research here, as a matter of fact. Researchers at Dartmouth in 2018 did say that they found a link between violent games and adolescent aggression, aka childhood aggression. But several other studies have discredited the correlation. So there's this one example that people are going to try and use that has been discredited / disproven by several other studies, including Chris Ferguson, who is a professor of psychology and criminal justice at Texas A&M University, a very credible source, who said, quote, "As a video game violence researcher and someone who's done scholarship on mass homicides, let me state very emphatically, there is no good evidence that video games or other media, like movies and music, contributes even in a small way to mass homicides or any other violence among the youth." This was a week after the Sandy Hook massacre in 2012. The United States Secret Service, which are tasked with protecting the president and other members of government and, foreign aid and stuff like that, like people who come from like foreign missions and stuff, they've looked into the issue with a specific focus on tragedies like school shootings, and as early as 2002, the Secret Service found zero evidence to suggest that school shootings were perpetuated by people who consume more media violence than anyone else. Former President Donald Trump also spoke out about video game violence in 2018. He then gathered representatives from the Entertainment Software Association and game publishers, which after a meeting with them caused him to back down his stance on this subject, which, if you know anything about Donald Trump, getting him to back down on a subject is, yeah, good luck. But that's one of the most, I would say, hard-headed men probably of all time. But the fact that they even got Donald Trump to like say, you know what, yeah, I think I'm going to back down off that, like, I can't really think of many other subjects in which he ever did that. So the science and the evidence that's there suggests that this is a non-issue, that this bill will not be effective in curbing what's going on. In fact, crazily enough, there's actually been another initiative taken that is supposed to actually help with this specific issue that I'm sure can actually be proven to be more efficient than banning video game sales. Now, a man by the name of Early Walker started something called Operation Safe Pump, which is tasked with preventing carjackings at gas stations and shopping plazas by positioning security guards in areas with high numbers of carjackings. Now, apparently, the entire, methodology of creating this law was that they noticed similarities in local instances of carjackings and actions that players make in the video game, aka in GTA you can steal a car from somebody. That's the only correlation between what they've seen and what's going on. And it makes no sense. I mean, if we're using the logic that people will see a carjacking in Grand Theft Auto and be like, well, I gotta go steal a car, by the same logic, does playing Call of Duty make you want to sign up for the army tomorrow? Does playing a non-violent video game like Mario Kart suddenly make me the best fucking NASCAR driver who's ever lived? If I play a game of NBA 2K, do I become fucking Michael Jordan on the 96 Bulls? Probably not, right? It doesn't even make any sense. Like, if we're going to make the correlations between video games and real-life events, how come you never see them bringing that kind of instance up? Me playing City Skylines doesn't make me a fucking development planner for the city government, right? So, by that logic, why would me stealing a car from a fucking couple of pixels in a game of Grand Theft Auto make me be like, you know what? I'm going to go take a car on the south side today. Like, what? And it all really boils down to something that we've seen consistently, especially here in the United States and government. These politicians will do literally anything and everything to just not do their fucking job. Asking a politician in the United States to actually do what they were elected to do is like asking a toddler to write you a 47-page thesis on why the sun burns as hot as it does. It doesn't make any sense, and you're not going to get the results you actually wanted out of it, right? So, another issue I think with this is the fact that we're letting fucking these elderly people decide these things for us, right? I mean, how many old folk do you know playing Grand Theft Auto? How many old folk you know playing any video game at all? Like, sure, your grandma probably plays fucking Candy Crush and Farmville or whatever, right? But do you think your grandma's ever going to pick up a copy of, like, Overwatch? No, probably not. So we're seeing these laws be introduced and attempted by people who know fundamentally nothing about video games or realistically the entertainment industry at large, right? So we have people who know nothing about what they're talking about, who are ignoring the clear science behind all of this, trying to make decisions on the behalf of other people. And I don't care what anyone says, the fact that a 35-year-old man wouldn't be allowed to walk into a GameStop and buy fucking Grand Theft Auto for his PlayStation 5 is absolutely ridiculous. We would literally live in a country where at the age of 18, you could sign up for the fucking military and go die for oil money. At the hands of the military-industrial complex and political lobbyists, you would be able to also sign yourself up for virtually any amount of debt ever, to the point in which it would be probably impossible for you to ever pay it back within your lifetime, and effectively destroy your life at the age of 18, but you would not be allowed to buy a video game that's basically just pixels on a screen doing bad shit. It's fundamentally a fucking ridiculous concept and a ridiculous argument. And the more that these bills get introduced, and the more that you see these lawmakers try to pin this all on violent video games, I think the more that people are going to come to realize that the government just fucking sucks. The government sucks. There's nowhere in the United States, I think, where the government does its job where it's supposed to be doing it. And a lot of it comes back on the fact that we elect these fucking idiots into office who know nothing about the things that they're trying to control, nothing about the things they're trying to do. They're being paid by political lobbyists and things like that, because in reality, the video game industry is a massive threat to all the other entertainment industries, because it's so much more profitable than all of them. And it becomes clear, right? This is all just a bunch of bullshit. And anyone who plays video games could have seen that, but I hope more people realize, man. Now, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, being turned into a violent criminal, and signing out. You've seen cool stuff in your life before, but you've never seen cool shit like this. Introducing Horser. Are we sure what it is? Not really, but is it interesting? Absolutely. Optimus, what do all these luxury cars and videos of horses and nature have to do with Horser? They're specially crafted in that order to make you want to buy shit, to make you think to yourself, oh, this Horser brand represents luxury and wealth and nature, and I need that. So fulfill the advertisement's role and go buy it. Horser, keep it on you, or some shit like that.